All right, y'all ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We are in color in the building and ready to give y'all a dope show. We are live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. We got a lot to get into tonight. We are leading off the show with City Council President, Councilwoman Michelle Mosby. She is running for mayor of the city of Richmond, Virginia. We look forward to talking to our sister. We got a lot to get into. We got some what the hell, and we've got a returning favorite here on the show tonight. We got a lot to give you, and we're glad to have you in the building with us. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. It's live. It's right now.
It's about that time. It's about that time to get.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We in the building. Be down with us tonight at 804-402-2893. Be down with the flagship show heard live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. Thanking everybody for rocking with us tonight. We're thanking everybody in New Jersey and everybody in Virginia and Atlanta and all of the cities and lights that we see on already. Because y'all rock with us, we roll with y'all. We're thanking our sponsors, Live Action Captions and Free Spirit Enterprises. We'll hear a word from each of them as we progress throughout the night tonight. We got a dope show tonight. We look forward to bringing it to you. We got a lot of people that are going to be joining us throughout the show, whether on the phone or in the studio, but we're leading it off tonight. A special interview that we have that we are going to bring to you right now. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. As I mentioned, we are live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. Definitely happy and honored to bring to you a mayoral Richmond, Virginia, capital city mayoral candidate. She is the city council president. We have the Honorable Councilwoman Michelle Mosby on the live line with us tonight. How you doing, Councilwoman?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you, first of all, for taking time today to have a discussion with us and to speak directly to the Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J listeners, most of which reside right here in the capital city, Richmond, Virginia. So I wanted to, first of all, thank you for coming and talking to us tonight.
No, just no problem at all. Thank you all so much for the invitation.
Good deal.
I really appreciate it.
Good deal. I'm going to jump right into kind of the heart of the matter, as I like to say. We are running for Richmond City mayor. You're running for mayor. Tell us, what is your reason for running for mayor? What was the main thing that caused you to make that decision?
When I became a council member, I kind of had one thing in my thought process, and it was about returning citizens and trying to, have transportation and job opportunities and those types of things. And then as I became a council member, the door opened for such a myriad of things that needed to kind of be fixed.
Right.
And so we look at education. Once again, transportation is still there. Workforce is there. We look at the economics, the growth of the city. And so becoming president, I was able to really have a hand in being a part of making some great things happen for our city.
Right.
And so I believe that I have a spirit to be able to bring people together.
Right.
And I think that as a leader, that has to be one of the things that you do well.
Right. Well, what I want to do, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because you mentioned a couple of things, and I want to start breaking some of those down. First thing I want to break down is the Richmond revised budget. Tell us about that a little bit. What's your plan for that?
Well, it's been a learning curve, learning experience, as I said, as a council member, walking in the door trying to figure out, how the budget really works, who does what is what with the budget. And so I think I've learned it pretty well. I got a chance to deal with the budget, but then becoming president, I got an opportunity to preside over the budget. So really get into the weeds of it. What needs to really happen with a leader moving forward is ensuring that the budget is not crafted without having conversation with council. And I think that there, once again, provides the uniqueness of Michelle Mosby being city council member and then president. Because trying to get administration to understand it's a much better process when they're included in the process.
Right.
And so we're not a city that is getting ready to go underwater. Once again, we have a AA bond rating, AA plus bond rating.
Right.
And so that's not a city underwater.
Right.
But we have a reporting issue. And so it's time to now get things in place, systems in place, so that we're reporting on time. And we're working together, both administration, Michelle's administration, and the council together to ensure that we're taking care of the departments in our city, schools, public safety, public works, public utilities. All of the departments have to be taken care of, and we would do better to do it together.
You mentioned the schools. Tell us how you plan to address and support the Richmond Public School Board.
Well, once again, as president, I got an opportunity to get a jump start from where other candidates talk about what they will do. I had an opportunity to bring us together.
Right.
I met with the chair of the school board monthly. He and I had, the conversations about how can we bring these two boards together. And from there birthed the meetings of council and school board.
Right.
From there, the administration was able to come to the last one. And so we're working now to bring the next meeting forward so we can discuss some information that we just received in reference to schools. And so I'm already ahead of the game on getting us into that place of conversation, and not just conversation, but now we're really into the weeds of looking for a dedicated source of funding for schools.
Right.
A lot of things had been a lot of chit chat until I got here, and now they're coming to a place of real reality. Where today the mayor is proposing things that he sees fit that can help us get to the dedicated source of funding. Councilman John Balaus has put some things he sees fit to get us to a dedicated source of funding. And I'm still lobbying from a perspective of things that I saw in other cities. Baltimore had a plan where the state and local and public-private partnerships got together to raise money for facilities. And so these things are being looked at because when I hit the door, I want to have a plan moving forward on how we get to the place of building these facilities for our young people so that their academics can be 21st century.
I'm sorry. Do you find that you've gotten the support from the community with regards to that? Because, see, one of the things that I always wonder about is apathy from especially some of our communities that are impoverished. And, I've been in Richmond for a long time, and I know there are a lot of areas of town that just, quite frankly, doesn't have a lot of money. And when they don't have a lot of money, mom and dad has to go to work. And because mom and dad has to go to work, they may not be able to participate in the public school board. So what's been your experience with kind of working and dealing around that?
Well, it's funny that you mention it because that's who I see myself. I am the average Richmonder.
Okay.
I didn't walk in the door with any connections to anyone. It was a problem I saw and me just deciding I want to do something about it and doing it. And it actually has been, even throughout moving from council to council president to even running for mayor, it's still one of those things where I'm kind of the Lone Ranger trying to do something, because sometimes you just are not in that in crowd.
Right.
Those persons that, they're going to work, children that are trying to go to school, that's the person I'm working for. You'll hear a lot of candidates talk about, my friends, I want to fix schools because they talk about fleeing out to the counties. Well, guess what? Michelle's friends can't flee.
Right.
Richmond Public Schools is where they go.
Right.
And so I have to fix schools for that group.
Right.
I have to fix schools so that it is equal opportunity for every child. Not just a parent that I'm trying to keep here in the city, but for the parent that this is their home and this is where they'll be until their child graduates.
Right.
It's fair that their child get an equal opportunity at an education.
Right.
And I'm working for them.
Want to move to maybe another area here. We talked a little bit about the plan, the budget. I know that one of your big things is the inmate reentry programs. Tell us a little bit about your plan with regards to that and how you came to that being a passion for you.
Once again, I've been here in Richmond a long time. I've watched different people from different parts of the city leave, come back, all types of things. I watched an entire group of people that I knew from Hillside go to jail. I've watched a group of people from Jackson Ward go to jail. And so when they come home, it's that, how do I survive other than doing what I did?
Right.
And so to me, there has to be a place where we call America the land of opportunity.
Right.
Well, is Richmond? Because for me, that's what it needs to be. Richmond has a 26% poverty rate. If we're going to alleviate poverty, then for me, it's about providing opportunities.
Right.
Whether it be workforce or education, we've got to provide the opportunities.
Right.
We've got to, I believe that Richmond is the prime place to be the leader in making these types of changes. We know that our history has been something very funny, very different, very odd, and so it's that time now to be the leader in saying, we're going to be the change agent. We're going to provide opportunities for all people.
Right.
We're going to make sure that the least and left out are not left out another day. This is the moment to say, if you can't say in life, I'm sorry out loud, then you can say I'm sorry by doing something to change my world.
Right.
And so for me, it's about moving us forward. Reentry, in my book, is a priority, because reentry is about homelessness.
Right.
Reentry is about lack of education. Reentry is about lack of opportunity. Reentry is about a 26% poverty rate, which means we're giving most of our money to public safety. We're giving most of our money to social services because we're not feeding the root of the problem. We're not fixing where the real issues are.
Right.
And so for me as a mayor, I want to dig in and fix where the real issues are.
Well,
it's easy to come in and fix. You can get the right people to fix your books.
Right.
You get the right accountant, the right finance people. They can help run the ship. But who's fixing the issues that are at the bottom of this thing and helping everybody survive? Yeah. And I need to be that mayor to do that.
No, I agree. I mean, ultimately, when they come home, they have to go somewhere. And, a lot of the issues that I found, that when they come home and they have nothing to do, that idle time is when some bad things can absolutely happen.
It's real.
So,
it's real. It's not just something that is in the word to be there.
Yeah,
it's real.
and then the other thing, and I'm gonna move on because I know the time is short. So a couple of quick hits I want to get before I let you go. But let me just make this point that if you don't have a plan for these people to be part of society, then that plan must be for them to go back where they just came, and that cannot be what our goal is. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J, live from the Den of Legacy Internet Radio. We're speaking with the Honorable Michelle Mosby, Councilwoman. She's the City Council President here in the capital city of Richmond, Virginia. She is a mayoral candidate. How do you expect to work on the expansion of public transportation here in Richmond? I know When I first came here, and I've been in Richmond since 1992, after I graduated high school, I went to Virginia Union University, and that's how I ended up here. And one of the things that I noticed from coming from the north to the south was that transportation was challenging. Getting around this town was absolutely challenging. Do you have any plans to expand our public transportation here locally?
Of course. That's why, leaders can't lead from behind. So when they were having the big to-do about bus rapid transit, and Ms. Mosby was saying we got to go for it, we have to go for it because it has to start. And in life, it doesn't always start where I want it to start. If I could have chose the place, would it have been up Broad Street? No, to Rogers Landing, I can't tell you that would have been my choice.
Right.
But I believe that we have to have a great transportational system in our city. If we're going to be a great city, and all great cities have great transportation systems, then we have to move forward to that.
Right.
And so it's about I'm working with our Greater Richmond Transit System, our personal, GRTC, to see how we can make that great. When you look at cities like Norfolk, they took their internal system and made it great. Right. And so I'm working to see how we can get those lines great and also be able to have our conversations with our state and federal to talk about expanding bus rapid transit, our regional partners. Hey, this helps and benefits us, all of us.
Right.
And so that we can begin to take this span. For me, I'd love to see this span of bus rapid transit down Jefferson Davis.
Wow.
I'd like to see it moving down 360.
Right.
I want to be a part of that conversation and having that conversation with our regional partners to say, hey, what's the stopping point? What's the reason why we can't go?
Right.
And see if we can get around that.
Right.
We've got to get everybody together to have a conversation. And I'm going to start with trying to see if I can get a retreat with all the Henrico supervisors, all the Chesterfield supervisors, and the city council and my administration. Let's sit at the table and let's talk about regional cooperation and what that really looks like for our city and our region. It's time to make things really happen, and it shouldn't take 20 years for things to happen if we're all on the same accord with it happening.
Well, especially with Richmond being the kind of city where I look at Richmond as kind of the centerpiece with the counties, of course, that surround us, like Henrico and Chesterfield, Hanover, and others that surround us. They move as we move. So in the city, of course. So speaking of the city, I, as the founder and general manager of Legacy Internet Radio, I'm really thinking about business. That's something that's really on my mind, particularly small business, which is what we are, because it's vital to every single city, including our own here in Richmond. Yes. What is your idea or plan with regards to uplifting us as small business owners and how we can get support from the city going forward?
Very good question. And myself, I'm a small business owner. 15 years ago, I marched downtown trying to figure out how to open a salon on Forest Hill Avenue, which then I didn't know was a fourth district, didn't understand any of that. And it was complicated. Understanding licensure, getting all of those things together, it was complicated. And so for me, it's about putting things in place so that it's not complicated. It's about getting us together where the mayor has the minority business initiative that he put in place, and I want to expand that to small and minority business because there are opportunities out there, but many times people don't know that they're there. And so I want people to understand that there are opportunities. For me, small business is the fabric of what makes America great, and that's real talk. We do that.
Yes.
And so we have to make sure that we're putting things in place so that you can feel like we're trying to make you great.
Right.
And so I intend to put some things in place. I'd like to hear from small business your concerns. What are your needs? What things can help you be better at your job? And so what things can help you expand to be better? When we look at different parts of our city, we ride down Brooklyn Park Boulevard, and there are small businesses up and down that.
Right.
We want to enhance corridors, but for me, enhancing a corridor is not pushing the small business out. It's making the small business better as we enhance the corridor.
Right.
We can add big business to it, but it is not to push my small businesses out, because they have been there. They've been what has held that corridor together for 30 plus years.
Right.
And so for me, it's almost, how dare we? How dare we?
Well, that rising tide should lift all the boats.
Yeah, we have to put some things in place. And so I'm a small business owner. I get it. And things will be in place so that we can all find a way to expand. If your mind says that you want to get a loan because you're trying to do A, B, C, and D, then we need to have a way for you to have a conversation to at least know where to start.
Right.
When you get to the city, where's my starting place? And many people don't know. They don't have the information. And I want us to be even better with marketing and information as it relates to small business.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're talking to the Honorable Michelle Mosby. She is the City Council President. Councilwoman, 2 more quick questions for you. I am a huge baseball fan, and there's been a lot of talk about the Richmond Squirrels. They currently play at the Diamond on the Boulevard. There was some talk of moving it out to the county, moving it downtown to Shockoe Bottom. What would the Richmond Squirrels' future look like in a Mosby administration?
Well, I think, Marcus, has been talk about the Squirrels staying in Richmond. And there's been real talk about an area, not that directly on the 60 acres, but right, smack to the side of it. And it's to me what it should have been all the time, a partnership conversation.
Right.
And so today what I see is that moving forward, there is that partnership, and I will continue to have that partnership conversation to keep the Squirrels here. The Squirrels do great things. I can't tell you I'm an absolute baseball fan. I think I've gone to two of the games. I absolutely love Nutsy. Is that his name?
Nutsy.
He comes to all of my little stuff, and I love him, and the kids love him. And they do great things, outside of baseball for our city. Right. Great things. Yeah. And so for me, it's making things be a win-win. And so today it is a partnership conversation happening, and I would really work hard to continue that conversation. I can't say that as a leader that I would choose to bear all of the costs, all of the burden, right, for our city, right, but I would work diligently to continue the partnership and work to see if we could keep it where, in my thought process, we're looking to put the Squirrels.
For what it's worth, I actually agree with you on that one. I actually think that it should be a partnership with the entire metro area, and as a group, the location and what happens with the Squirrels is decided together, because the thought of losing them really upsets me. I hated losing the Braves, and I think here in Richmond we can do a much better job of supporting some of the local events and some of the local things of that sort that would give them incentives to kind of do more. So I appreciate that answer. Last question I want to ask you before we close out is this election. What is your vision, and why is it so important, this election, 2016, the mayoral election of Richmond, Virginia?
Marcus, my vision is not even that complicated. It is a vision to lead a city that has something for everyone. It is a vision to lead a city that it doesn't matter what district you're in, you understand how important you are to this city, and you understand it because of the actions of this city. I want to walk in leading a city, getting systems in place so that we're providing services of excellence to our residents. I want to, when I leave office, there is not a 26% poverty rate. And so it is critical to me that we choose a mayor that not just sees us as on the rise, not just see us as, we're the greatest in these areas, but really understand that even though we have all of those great things happening, that there are still about 50,000 people living in poverty in our city, that there are still children that are not getting the education that they need, that there is still a homeless population that resides in our city. And this mayor needs to take the next 4 years to change the dynamic so that everyone feels like they are equally represented in our city. And that's what I intend to do.
I look forward to watching you do it. We're talking to the City Council President, the Honorable Michelle Mosby. She is a councilwoman that is running for the Richmond, Virginia mayor office. Councilwoman, it's been my honor to talk to you. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of those of us here at Legacy Internet Radio to wish you very, very good luck in the race. The things that we talked about tonight are very, very important. And I can hear the conviction in your voice, and I have every reason to believe that you will do, in fact, everything you said. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you as well, Councilwoman. Thank you for your time. You have a good night, okay?
You do the same.
Yeah, you got it. And have Steppin with Marcus J, live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Very, very awesome opportunity to speak with the City Council President, the Honorable Michelle Mosby, Councilwoman, who is running for the mayor office of the city of Richmond, the capital city, Richmond, Virginia, this November 2016. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got more of the show. We're going to bring the crew into the show. Marcus J and the crew and you. We will be back in a few.
Hey, this is Warren Ballantyne, the number one truth writer in America, and I'm listening to my man, my brother, Marcus J, right here on Legacy Internet Radio.